Growing up, I was raised in a Christian home with a blessed family and a blessed life. But ever since I was little, loneliness and anxiety has cut me with its knife. In middle school, I was bullied and beaten with words that tore me open. God became distant as I became broken. I thought He had put this upon me. Hatred for myself became my religion, forcing hatred on others because hate made an incision. I would proclaim I hated Jesus because He thought I was worthless. I turned my back on Him, and pornography and anger got all my worship. Demons became my only friends. Their screaming seemed to never really end. You're worthless, you're dead inside, no one loves you, and God's abandoned you. And unfortunately, I let their taunts fill my view. And I chose to believe them because it was all that I had knew. I grew up in a dark basement where I'd spend most of my time. I was in a deep pit I had grown comfortable with, so I refused to climb. I was too deep to see any light, or maybe I was just blind, but it was all I'd become accustomed to, so I didn't really mind. So after 3 years with suicidal thoughts, self-hatred, and a hate for God in my heart, I stood at the altar and I asked Him to give me a fresh start. If you're really there, God, and you truly love me, my heart is open to you. And to this day, I haven't been the same. The hatred for God was turned to love for the one above because He sent a dove to fly through my open window, and He was the one that I began to show. But in life, some things will remain while others go. These storytellers in my head would tell stories through my heart of how I was meaningless to the ones I loved, making me feel unloved, and I began to fall apart. Self-hatred and the fear to accept myself once again became a burden in my mind. I just wish I could bind the blinds that covered my eyes from believing the truth. Because I've had heartbreaks and people go away, and it's become hard to trust anyone even to this day. I know I'm broken, but listen to what I say, that when a tree loses its leaves, it looks dead, but it's still very alive, waiting for the winter to end so that it may start to bloom once again. I'm like that tree in the spring. My heart looks dead now, but beauty is what I bring, because I have found the truest of hope, and by the power in Jesus I am able to cope. If there's anything I want you to get from this, it's that God is powerful. And in life there's times when you feel nothing and you feel awful. But in the mind of the man bigger than the seas, you're meaningful. Times will come where you feel like a hollow shell, where you think if I die right now I'd go straight to hell. Times where you lay in bed and these thoughts run through your head, where you wonder what it'd be like if you were to end up dead, where you wake up and you wish that you hadn't, where you feel like you've lost all your purpose, when the only thing that sets you back from death is a little voice inside your head that says you're not worthless. Because I've been there, next to a roadside, as I have watched the cars drive by, and my only wish was to not be alive. I was so broken I couldn't survive. My only desire is one where I would die. But before I jumped, a gentle hand reached out and He pulled me back. And He took away the thoughts of the things that I had lacked. He put light back into my mind, which had grown black. And I stand before you today to tell you that He is the only way to heal a heart that's been cracked. I know that I'm not perfect, but I know that I am worth it. here I am! 2 years later! 2 years after I found my Savior and He found me by a roadside where I contemplated if it was worth it to be alive. And yet I sit here today and wish I had committed to die when I was there by the roadside. Have I been led astray down a path that only causes delay to what I'm waiting to truly experience? Because Jesus, no offense, I don't know how to trust you like I used to. Because I'm still sitting here, lost and confused. I'm running to anything as a crutch or as a muse. Don't you see me? What happened to the promises you've made? I don't feel loved, I feel enslaved. How did you think of me when in that grave you laid? Because of a price that I should have paid and would have gladly done so. Because even though I'm alive, I want to be dead. It's not just a mood or a voice in my head. I want to be laid under the earth so I can rest. I want to lay my head on my Jesus' chest. But will I still go to heaven if I lay my life to bed? After all this, I must add that I know you don't think of me poorly. I just have a lot of questions that will be answered shortly once I stand with you in the Holy of Holies.